Hello. Today we are going to be looking at the Alcatraz Proclamation, named November 20th, 1969. When reading and listening to the text, write down any themes, keywords, or specific phrases that stick out in your mind. With these things in mind, let's take a look and listen to the text. To the Great White Father and his people. We, the Native Americans, reclaim the land known as Alcatraz Island in the name of all American Indians by right of discovery. We wish to be fair and honorable in our dealings with the Caucasian inhabitants of this land and hereby offer the following treaty. We will purchase said Alcatraz Island for $24 in glass beads and red cloth, a precedent set by the white man's purchase of a similar island about 300 years ago. We know that $24 in trade goods for these 16 acres is more than was paid when Manhattan Island was sold, but we know that land values have risen over the years. Our offer of $1.24 per acre is greater than the 47 cents per acre the white men are now paying the California Indians for their land. We will give to the inhabitants of this land a portion of that land for their own, to be held in trust by the American Indian government for as long as the sun shall rise and the rivers go down to the sea, to be administered by the Bureau of Caucasian Affairs. We will further guide the inhabitants in the proper way of living. We will offer them our religion, our education, our life ways, in order to help them achieve our level of civilization and thus raise them and all their white brothers up from their savage and unhappy state. We offer this treaty in good faith and wish to be fair and honorable in our dealings with all white men. We feel that this so-called Alcatraz Island is more than suitable as an Indian reservation, as determined by the white man's own standards. By this, we mean that this place resembles most Indian reservations, in that 1. It is isolated from modern facilities and without adequate means of transportation. 2. It has no fresh running water. 3. The sanitation facilities are inadequate. 4. There are no oil or mineral rights. 5. There is no industry and so unemployment is very great. 6. There are no healthcare facilities. 7. The soil is rocky and non-productive and the land does not support game. 8. There are no educational facilities. 9. The population has always been held as prisoners and kept dependent upon others. Further, it would be fitting and symbolic that ships from all over the world entering the Golden Gate would first see Indian land and thus be reminded of the true history of this nation. This tiny island would be a symbol of the great lands once ruled by free and noble Indians. Alcatraz Proclamation, 1969. To give some background on the occupation of Alcatraz, it began when approximately 80 to 90 American Indians, mostly college students, took over the island and delivered the Alcatraz Proclamation to the federal government. Because they belonged to many different Indian tribes, the occupiers called themselves Indian of all tribes. It was 19 months before federal agents escorted the last 15 activists from the island. This occupation will mark the beginning of the national Red Power movement. Now, with some of the things you've written down, think of some questions you may have, or questions you wish to pose to the rest of the class, or questions you wish to pose to me. With that said, see if you can answer some of those questions. We'll talk about some of those answers in class. We'll explore the details of federal Indian policy in class as well as the start of the Red Power movement. So be prepared with how the Alcatraz Proclamation is part of a larger civil rights movement.